A lot of cool things going on at Rhode Island College.
The Dan York State of Mind program is brought to you in part by Lookout Rhode Island and Takeo Comfort Solutions.
For those of you who listen to the radio and watch the television, you know I'm very bullish on our state collegiate institutions. I think they get short shrift by us, probably better shrift from others. But they're in the midst of another conversation right now on funding and tuition promises and the like, so timing is perfect. We actually made an invitation for this program to talk about a great scholarship program that they have there, and we're going to talk about that first up. But since we're around, we're going to get into a couple of things. Also, there's some brand new renderings that you're going to see that Rhode Island College is involved in. I mean, they're expanding not only on the campus in Providence, but in the great city of Central Falls. It's really kind of exciting stuff. So in the meantime, with no further ado, here's the story that we lead with tonight.
Rhode Island College students have lots in common.
Double majoring in musical theater and dance performance.
Chasing a career in the performing arts world, they all have big dreams.
I'm hoping to pursue a master's in audio production and engineering.
And on Tuesday afternoon, they were invited for a feature presentation at the Providence Performing Arts Center. Little did they know, they all had leading roles.
It's all unexpected, and I'm just, I don't know, I'm lost of words right now.
In a video, Lin-Manuel Miranda from Hamilton announced these students are the first recipients of a new scholarship his family is funding. Each student could get up to $10,000 over 2 years.
We were working hard to keep it a secret from the students. We let them know they were applying for a scholarship. We didn't tell them, though, who it was from or the fund that was coming from.
Andrea Vargas says in the world of memorizing lines and perfecting notes, anything that makes affording college easier makes all the difference.
100%. If you've got all these distractions going on, you can't completely be in the moment when you're performing, whether that be in the practice room or on stage for your final product. And without that practice, you know, you're not going to feel confident in yourself on stage.
So having a little financial security behind you go a long way, right?
Oh yeah, 100%.
That's what you're saying. How can you be there and here at the same time?
Magic.
Magic theater. Andrea, welcome. Nice to have you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Mr. President, welcome.
Hey, thank you. Good to be here.
Cool idea. How did this thing get started, the scholarship program?
Well, it actually started prior to coming to Rhode Island College. I spent some time in New York City at the City University of New York. And there I had a really wonderful opportunity to meet Lin-Manuel Miranda's parents, Luis and Luz Miranda. And it started with a very good relationship, not terribly deep relationship, just had connected with them. But when I came to Rhode Island College, I maintained that relationship. I actually invited Luis Miranda, the father, to come to Rhode Island College and look at our amazing theater buildings, which he did. He came out for a day and we showed him around the campus, and that really sparked an interest of possibly developing a scholarship. 9-12 months later, the executive director came out, also looked at our facilities, actually saw our students perform Beauty and the Beast, which was a spectacular production. And I think it was meeting our students, watching that production, that they said, you know, this is the type of institution we want to work with. We have a well-known music, theater, and dance program, and we have amazing student talent. And they said, here, this really meets our requirements and our interests, and we want to invest. We are now the first college or university in the entire country with the Miranda Family Fund Scholarship.
That's pretty cool networking. I mean, it's really part of the charge of being a president, is to seek those moments, right? To entrepreneurialize your gig on behalf of the school.
Well, on behalf of the school, but on behalf of our students, no question. Whether it's public-private partnerships for better jobs, or it's relationships with individuals that have resources that can make it easier for our students.
It's so funny. I have a niece who's going to be a theater major and is applying to schools that roll off the tip of your tongue, and other schools, I'm talking about nationally, who are they? What are they? It's a unique major, isn't it? How cool is the RIC theater major? How well respected is it? How proficient is it in terms of placing actors and actresses? What's the story?
I mean, well, I think the biggest well-known person, alum that we know of is Viola Davis. We always say, RIC alum Viola Davis, we aspire to be like her. There are so many that are out there working right now. There's people who are on tours that are coming to PPAC that are alum that we know we want to go and support because we want to be in their position someday. And the program at RIC has just allowed me to be able to grow as a performer in so many levels. And I've just had so many opportunities from it.
Is a theater major going to school for real?
100%.
How?
I think if anything, we work harder. I'm in classes all day long, and then I have
Classes in the general ed stuff?
We have to do our gen eds, and then we have to do, as a musical theater major, not only do I have to take acting classes, but I have to take voice lessons, and I have to take dance classes as well. So I am in my normal classes all day long, and we work just as hard, if not more. Because not only do we have to memorize facts and lines, when it comes to like history of theater, memorizing facts and things like that, and technique, but then we have to carry it out, and we have to show it now. So
You're like an athlete. In a way,
yeah.
I mean, it's a performance-based educational program. So you got to go to the regular stuff, and then you got to perform.
Well,
right?
that's one of the unique things of our music, theater, dance programs. At a lot of schools, you'll see separate departments, just music, just theater, just dance. We've intentionally designed this program to bring all three together, so it's very
intimate.
It's a sharing of curriculum, it's a sharing of experiences, so that students get real well-rounded, and even beyond the performance. Andrea was sharing with me; she's now leading the technical production of some work now in the city.
yeah,
right?
while I am a musical theater major, I wanted to get into the tech side of it, so I am assistant stage managing the Marriage at Benton Boo, which goes up in February at Rhode Island College, and I've also expanded. I'm working with JDP Theater in East Providence. I'm music directing Legally Blonde, which also goes up in February.
Wow,
Yeah.
cool. What do you want to do when you grow up?
Broadway. Definitely act on Broadway, although I have enjoyed teaching on the weekends, teaching voice lessons, so I enjoy both aspects, being on stage and off.
You got to shoot high, right? What is it about teaching that you love?
I just love watching kids grow and realizing how much passion they have for the theater arts and singing.
There's so much common ground. I mean, there's so much diversity in personality and skills and the like amongst all of us. We're all snowflakes, right? But there's an energy that comes off theater students, art students, that is unique and consistent.
Yeah.
And the catch-22 chicken or the egg question is, are you born this way, or do you acquire this characteristic?
I think it depends on the person. I mean, my mom says I talked to strangers when I was little, no problem. So I think I've always been this way. I've always been pretty open. But I think I know some, going back to like my students, I know some kids who start off very shy, and the theater is what makes them come out of their shell and kind of opens them up.
You know, one of the things I think Rhode Island College does really well, it helps students find their strengths, their talents, their passions. And sometimes you may go to college not realizing you're great in sciences or in theater or music, or have a particular interest in you know, we have ceramics or things like that, or certain skills and talents. And then when you go to the college, you get that exposure to those possibilities, and suddenly realize you have particular strengths you may have not known beforehand. And so I think it does depend on the student and what they've been exposed to.
It's a tough business. It's a tough business. When you say I want to go to Broadway, you know that is the smallest of percentage of people who want to be actors and actresses. At the same time, it seems like the path brings you so much other life benefit. There's so many things that you will learn right as a theater major that will transfer, whether you want to teach or not.
Yeah.
You're keeping that in mind?
I've thought about that since day one, and luckily Rhode Island College has like allowed me to realize that, and I'm actually double majoring. I'm musical theater and media communications, so I have more than one skill under my belt, or at least I will once I graduate.
Well, it just goes to show you that these things are important. Unfortunately, we're not feeding a lot of this anymore in the school systems, right? We're not spending enough anymore on the arts. Yeah. We're really, really heck bent on, and we have to be right now, on testing and all that kind of stuff. But one of the things that's first to get cut in the budget, where'd you go to high school?
East Providence High School.
East Providence. Were you able to perform through East Providence?
Yeah, we did one musical a year in the spring. So I
volunteer though, right? Was it part of the curriculum?
Oh yeah, no, it's like an after-school activity.
Right,
yeah.
and so the curriculums, Doc, are kind of, they're not up to standard. So, you know, the colleges have a real role here. It's more starting from scratch these days perhaps than in the old days.
Yeah, no question. In K-12 they've been reduced over the years, and this is why I think when you have talented students like Andrea, providing that outlet through a formal curriculum where they get formal training and are able to develop those talents is so important, I think, not only for the student, but frankly, I think for the state.
What's your message to the community about what RIC is providing?
I think RIC just allows you to have the opportunity to really go for your dreams and be provided with the proper tools to get there.
You're not just saying that because you're sitting with the boss, are you?
No, I definitely believe it. I wouldn't still be here.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
When we come back, some other questions for the president. Stay with us. Now, isn't that pretty? New buildings are always just so much fun to take a look at. But there's a lot of stuff you've got planned right now for Rhode Island College in the works. Tangibly, what changes are we looking at right now? By the way, you got the referendum, so that
oh, very exciting.
That was a good thing.
Yeah, well, and that really starts with to your question, some of the big changes. Of course, Horace Mann is undergoing. We're working with architects now.
Horace Mann does what on the campus?
So it houses our School of Education, and as you're showing some of the images there. The vision will really transform, really gut that entire building, and some of the exciting new technologies is going to be in there, video coaching, video analysis, really simulation technology for training the next generation of teachers. And so envision this. I think the goal of that building, eventually we'll be able to house an entire classroom, whether it's an elementary school classroom, a middle school or high school, where real students are there, and then our students can engage with them. And instead of waiting to your junior and senior year to go to some school placement, our goal is really on day one as freshmen, beginning to expose our students with real classroom experiences and frankly, giving them more time to develop those skills, those talents, so that they're stronger teachers.
Listen, sir, you are on the hot seat, not individually, but as an industry, because all this conversation about education now, laser focus on the state's lack of performance. You're not in the line of responsibility for Rhode Island's pre-K to 12 education, but a lot of kids go to RIC, a lot of kids would like to stay, a lot of kids like to teach at RIC.
That's right.
And we are talking about teachers, thankfully the minority of them, but teachers who are ill-prepared to teach at the levels that the commissioner is demanding. Of course, now he's out the door. Yeah. This new approach that you're bringing to Rhode Island College can't come soon enough, and with it comes a significant amount of responsibility. Yeah. I'm confident you're up to task, but it'd be cool for you to articulate how urgent this thing is right now.
It's incredibly urgent, and our strategy has been twofold in getting at the real issues affecting K-12. We have spent the last 18 months engaging with teachers, with principals, with superintendents across the entire state, and continue to engage with them to talk about the needs that this state has in K-12. Over and beyond that, we've engaged with national thought leaders around the future preparation of teachers at the top schools in the nation, University of Virginia, Baylor University, Arizona State.
So what's the big takeaway that you go? What's the
big
light bulb?
takeaway? So what we've heard from right here in the state of Rhode Island, we've heard from principals and superintendents specific skills that students need to have that they can't find today. They said we need more students that are prepared to work with students with any variety of disabilities. We have to find more teachers that are trained with that. They also said we need to have more teachers that are trained in ELL, English Language Learning. So what did we do? We unpacked our entire curriculum and put it back together, and we embedded into the curriculum training, specific training and credentialing around special education and ELL. So in the fall of 19, we're launching our new curriculum. every single graduate that comes out of that program, every single one of them will be endorsed in either special education or ELL. We heard it from our teachers, we heard it from the professionals. They needed specific skills, so we redesigned the entire curriculum to ensure every graduate gets those skills.
All right, well, you got to come on for some more long form on this. You know when you know someone A knows what they're talking about and B is on top of it when they sit up and look as energized as you are. Right there, it looked like you were running a meeting, and so I'm glad that, and I know that you're the one that unpacked and repacked this education curriculum. This is in your wheelhouse. I mean, not by yourself, but it was your. Was it not your vision to go in there and say, listen, we got to do this thing differently?
Well, it was working with our co-deans. We said, we had the RIC review.
You did a whole research project.
We did the whole research
thing.
Yeah.
But you're jacked. It seems like you're jacked. And that's
good. Important. This is important for the state.
By the way, you were jacked the other night. We're going to catch you on camera when we come back.
So this year, I propose we expand what's working. I propose we expand the promise to Rhode Island College to cover the last 2 years of a 4-year degree at Rhode Island College.
Yep, here we go again. Either she's tenacious or she doesn't get the message, but there's a guy that likes the message.
Before these 4 years are out, let's expand the promise to our flagship university, University of Rhode Island.
And a not so happy Dr. Dooley sat through the president of URI, sat, so funny, Meg Hughes, CSRI, she already got hers. Sanchez gets he's getting his. Dooley's there in the middle. All right. And I got to tell you, Dr. Dooley was a champion of this Rhode Island Promise thing early on. These are complicated financial matters, there's no doubt about it. The legislature really knocked down the Promise program that the governor ran around the state with. I have to give her credit. She bought all into that. And, I always hold her measured against the energy she put into the Rhode Island Promise thing when she, visited schools and conducted rallies when it comes to things like the paw socks, where she says she was all in. She wasn't. That's not for you. But why'd you stand up, other than it looks like you're in the pipeline for kids to get more assistance? What is it about this that I don't understand? Because I hate this idea. Yeah. Rhode Island College and URI are return on investment gems already. I start to think, when you think, hey, guess what? No charge. Sometimes people don't want to buy something that's no charge. Yeah. You got to put some formidable price tag on it. Your specific institution, I think, is the best ROI.
Yeah. Well, I got to tell you, Dan, I think that's where part of the misunderstanding is. There's a considerable amount of charge to this program. What it does is it assists families for 2 years. The reality is, Rhode Island families have to put up, 2 years of tuition at Rhode Island College, $20,000. That's not free. And what I like in particular about the Rhode Island College Promise is that students have got to have skin in the game. Before they even qualify for the Promise at Rhode Island College, they have to pay full tuition for the first year, they have to perform academically well, be on track for a 4-year degree, and then they have to do that an entire second year. Pay full tuition, be on track for a 4-year college degree.
GPA has to be what?
Has to be a 2.5. And then by the 3rd year, after they've demonstrated that they are serious, they're focused, they're going to get that 4-year degree, we're going to help them get over the finish line. And so this is a different program than from the CCRI Promise. It is about students that if they're bright, they're talented, they're motivated, and they're hardworking, we're going to help them get over the finish line. And what I like about it is, for Rhode Islanders, we know a lot of families, oftentimes they're not eligible for financial aid or financial assistance. This is going to offer a 4-year college degree for right about $20,000. Still a lot of money, but I got to tell you, you will be hard-pressed to find anything like that in this country.
For good reason, I think. I don't know. Listen, I don't think it's a great thing to be adding to everybody's bill, but things of value cost money. And again, I think Rhode Island College has been a return on investment second to none, and continues to be, and will be even further. But this notion of, first of all, what we need to be clear about, is that this is post any financial aid that anybody is eligible for. So they have to drain that, you know, Pell Grants and all this kind of stuff. Well, we've seen the CCRI, by the way, is more Pell Grant issuance. There are people who are actually going, oh, geez, I can go to CCRI for free and find out that they actually qualify for financial aid. And right, have you been affected by the number of students that have decided to go to CCRI first before going to Rhode Island College because they can cut the bill?
No question.
Yeah,
we've seen a decline in enrollments. The reality is, over the last several
attributed
years,
to that program, you think?
I think there's been some decline in enrollment associated with that. Again, the reality
so what happens to URI when RIC starts to get a no-charge junior senior thing? The cohesiveness of this program and the big picture thing, I think, is completely missing. I get the CCRI thing, but frankly, I've seen this as nothing more than a star on a political refrigerator and not really practical.
You know, in terms of the question of what's the impact of maybe our flagship institution or any of the private institutes, there's no evidence nationally of these type of programs hurting research institutions, flagships, or private schools. What there is research on, and we saw this with the Tennessee Promise and the Rhode Island Promise, is that the state colleges tend to get hit because they tend to be the most affordable option for 4 years. And so we'll have to wait and see. And it's clear that the governor is wanting to have kind of a staggered approach to this initiative, as she indicated in the State of the State. Started out with CCRI.
Well, respectfully, she didn't want to have a staggered approach to this. She wanted all one fell swoop when she first brought it to the legislature. CCRI for 2, you guys for 2, URI for 2 on the back end. So. We'll see. It's going to be interesting. Are you going to lobby hard for this, or are you just going to wait to see if you get a Christmas gift? Because it's going to be a fight in the legislature. I talked to both the Senate President and the Speaker of the House, and they are not bought in.
Yeah, we have some. I think we have some work to do. I think there are some misunderstandings. I think some people see this. Well, this is free education. And I got to tell you, $20,000 is not free for anybody. It's still expensive to go to school.
Again, you're referring to the first 2 years.
Yeah, but it is a different. Rhode Island College Promise is different from the originally promised design at community college. I mean, it is. It's fundamentally different.
Then check in with the families that busted their tail to spend tuition money for a great education at Rhode Island College for 4 years and ask them how they feel about that. Yeah. Timing is everything in life, huh?
No, it really is. You know, we deal with that every year whenever there's new gifts and donations. For example, the Miranda Scholarship. I guarantee you, Andrea's colleagues who graduated last year would have loved to have that scholarship. The timing is everything, as you point out.
You're not easy. You're good. Keep up the good work. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Frank Sanchez, President of Rhode Island College. Final word when we come back. Alrighty, interesting week, huh? Anytime we have a State of the State, it establishes, you know, a whole bunch of conversations for us. This DCOF tragedy is just awful, and the chair of oversight will join us on the Monday program. And next week, we'll take a look at some of the bigger picture issues, like, are we going to have a State of the Union? How about that move by Nancy Pelosi? That's playing political chess, no doubt about it. And if I asked you, what is Brexit? Would you know? There's a lot going on the other end of the pond. We'll talk about that stuff too and keep an eye on our own backyard all next week. Thanks for watching, and tune in weekdays 3 to 6 on WPRO. Don't forget that. Have a great weekend. Stay warm. Go.